1, 2. All right, let's start off on 1 minute chart. I mean the 5-minute chart, and see what's going on here. All right, 5-minute range closes in about give her 30 seconds. Where's that? Oh, okay. Let me mark out the top, and then there's the bottom. Oh, right next to that pivot. Nice. $100? I ain't got that kind of money. That's big baller status right there. All right, so we marked out that 5-minute range. We dropped down to the 1 minute. Man, very tight range today. Not, I mean, let's see. We'll see. We're, pretty much all pre-market, we've been kind of just going sideways. So we're dropping down right now to the 15 minute. Man, pre-market lows. Golly. We're about to take out pre-market lows. We took out one level of liquidity down there. If you look on a 15-minute chart, there's the closure below that range. You look on the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart, see this low, see this low kind of got swept right here. We got one more technically for the pre-market lows. We'll see what happens if it still wants to take out that low or not, regardless, but we've broken below that range, so we'll see if I get a setup here. Let me kind of zoom out just a little bit so I can... If I get a setup... oh, shoot. News. I gotta really keep track of news. Give me a second. News-wise, we're looking at... All right, no news today, so that's good. We got no news on the books. So don't have to worry about news. Before this sets up, give me a second. I'll be back. I'll be back in a second. right, nice. We're getting something. We are getting something. See if we get a setup here. All right, I will be technically, let's say, 80. May be interested if we could get a imbalance formed here. Nope. I was thinking we may get a imbalance to get formed right there, but buyers couldn't hold it up. So looks like we're going lower still. If we do take out that low down there, would be nice. Honestly, would be nice if we could at least come down there. We took out, like I said, we took out this first low right there. We took out this first low. So if we come down and take out the second low too, would be really nice. And we would fill that imbalance. Actually, it got filled. It got filled the first time. So it would be nice if, yeah, we take out this low. Dropping back down. All right, we took out that second. We took out that second low. Let's see. See if we can get buyers start to step in. We're at that pre-market. So we pretty much just sweep pre-market lows. See if we can get buyers to start to step in back inside this range. Or are they going to just keep pushing it lower is the question. We'll see. If there's going to be a time where they sweep this, it's going to be now. I mean, pre-market lows, all this liquidity got swept. Now we could start to see if buyers can start to really step back inside. And if they can, off to the races. If they can't and they start holding this 5-minute bottom of this 5-minute range as resistance, not a good sign for the bulls. So we're still going lower. $9.43. We got some time till 10 a.m. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let me see the higher. Take a look at higher time frames. Hourly chart. All right, hourly chart. We're getting a rejection off that 200 right there. So hourly chart, but we took out this pre-market lows. Now we could be tapping into this high. Previous resistance turned into new support. So ideal thing, what I would like to see, right? We already took out these lows. Now we can kind of start holding these highs as support, possibly to get at least some kind of an uptrend back up, possibly. We'll see if it wants to do it or not. That's the hourly chart. If you look on the 15-minute chart, it's sort of the same thing. Nothing really there. 5-minute chart. Yeah, we're still dropping on the 5-minute. Hourly chart gives you the best picture, the most clear picture of what's going on. Now, let's see. If we can pop back inside this range, buyers start stepping in. There they come. All right, buyers stepping back in. Let's see how this next candle opens up. Where's VWAP? All right, VWAP's up there at this low, pretty much right above that, right at that 25,699 level. So 25,699. Okay, so pretty much right above, right at this 5-minute is that VWAP. See, the thing about it is buyers just aren't stepping in strong enough. We're not getting that sign. Now we're getting a gap here, possibly start to form, but that gap is it outside the 5-minute range. 40 seconds left. It's not gonna cut it. Ain't gonna cut it. If we get another, possibly, we'll see. This gap won't work, like I said, because it's outside the range. I need my gap to be inside the range. I cannot have a gap outside the range. It's a very tight gap. That's the only thing. It's kind of sucks that it's so tight. We may get another gap start to form here. We are tapping into VWAP. We'll see how this sets itself up. Sellers stepping in. Looks like too much selling pressure as of now. See. possibly would think about it. Risk to reward is not the best. I don't like that risk to reward. I gotta be conservative though. I can't. Let's see here. I'm gonna bounce off this imbalance. See if we can hold these lows. Holy sh! Wow! What is going on? Wow, I got hammered on that trade really badly. Ugh. Damn. That was a long into view up. Fuck. Why is your pivot point lower than mine? Mine's at what? 25,630. 25,630. Unless you changed your settings, because I have a on my Thinkorswim, my pivot point's at 25,630, and they're the same level on both charts. So I don't. You must have something off with your settings. I would just delete it and reset it. I would try to reset it. Don't change any of the settings. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I'm fine. It's a pretty much just gave back what I made yesterday. Was what sucks. So I'm break even on the week so far. It be that way sometimes, so. I gotta journal this, so kind of, the trade was, setup was there, but it was into a view op area, so I gotta journal that. If that happens enough times where I keep taking losses on setups into view op like this, well then next time I gotta stop taking those kind of trades, so. But we kind of had, I'll show you. Man, where was it? Freaking A. Right, so you could see we kind of Right, took a long, we were tapping into view op, which was the problem here. Took out those highs. Took out internal highs. That's another kind of a red flag. So, once it... I guess for me, once it took out this internal high, that should have been a red flag for me also. So kind of two red flags that I gotta mark down. I gotta make sure I don't forget to journal. It took out an internal level of liquidity and it was pushing into view op. So I'll make sure to journal that. Five contracts waiting to jump in. Oh, you crazy. Shift change back up. It's possible. I mean, here's the thing. We've taken out pre-market lows and failed to go higher. We tried to push it right here. We took out pre-market lows and yeah, we tried to push it. Look at this. Push back up and then just failed and just rejected right off it. And then now we're coming back down. So now, I mean, we could go for those. We could go for these kind of like lows down here. This low down here, possibly. We got room to it. We got a low down there. That's where the pivot point is. We got a low. So we do have a lot more room to the downside. And it's inversing this gap right now. So this big bear bullish gap. So to be honest, nothing was telling to sell. I mean, we were rejecting off view op. It's tough. We're rejecting off view op, so that's one kind of... If we're below view op, we're generally bearish. So that's why I'm like, when I try to take a long below view op, I'm extra careful of where I take profit because I just understand that we're below view op. I'm almost going against the trend. 5 points of liquidity up there. Keep watching YM. It tells what NQ is going to do. Yeah, I don't watch YM. I don't watch anything. I just watch NASDAQ. I don't watch the divergences, and I try not to cloud up my my judgment of, you know. I start watching too much stuff, your judgment starts getting clouded, and then you're, you know, you're not going to take a trade because YM is doing something. And I have, like, for me, I have a very basic set of rules that I follow, and then that's it. And I just stick to that. Bro, look at the freaking, holy crap, dude. Look at the 15-minute chart. We're just dropping like a rock. Man. Ugh. Still dropping. We still got that low. I guess I'll mark out these lows. I'll mark out these lows down here. And then we got that pivot point. That low pretty much at the pivot point. Let me mark it out real quick. So we got those two lows down there. But see this trade, we kind of were showing signs that we, you know, possibly want to go up, but yeah, sellers were just too aggressive. Trump speaking at 11. Is he really? Let me see. Forex. Why don't they have it on Forex Factory? All I see for 11 is Barr speaking and Williams, some kind of FOMC member talking. And that's it. Yeah, we got, I marked out these two blue lines are lows. Interesting to see. I mean, we're holy crap, we're dropping like a rock. I mean, we're melting. Like, no stopping it. This is wild. All right, we took out one of the lows. Probably gonna get some buying pressure. Try to step in here. Probably gonna get some form of buying pressure. How strong it's gonna be, I don't know. It's been pretty strong to the downside, so. Oh. Okay. I'm wondering if he's talking at 11. I'm wondering why don't they put it on the freaking Forex Factory? I mean, that's a pretty big thing if Trump's talking. Just watched 5K off that downtrend. Yeah, I mean, it's somebody caught those shorts. It was a short type of day. I mean, to be honest, most people that are posting these 5K days, they're on funded accounts like me. They're simulation accounts. It's not like, most likely that person didn't make, 5K on an actual live account. It's sim accounts. I mean, I'm doing the same thing. I'm risking technically, a couple $1,000s per trade. So pretty much every trade I'm risking like almost 3,000, 2,800 bucks. But it's, it's sim accounts. You can get payouts, so it's not like I'm just like, but what up? I always wanted to get those big moves as they happen, but have my doubts. I mean, you just have to follow, you have to have a plan and you follow it. That's how you get big moves. You can't expect to get right. I took a loss today. Yesterday, had a good trade, made money. Today, I took a loss. It's like, and now what I do is I go back and try to, as soon as I end streaming today, the first thing I'm going to do is journal what happened. I'm going to journal, all right, what did I notice? We swept out internal liquidity and we were tapping into a gap, which equaled to be a lot losing trades. So next time, possibly if this type of thing happens where we're below view up, kind of pushing into view up, and we sweep out internal liquidity like this, and then it starts pulling back, maybe I should, actually, hold on. Where was my entry? Okay, it wasn't there. It had to be. All All right, so the liquidity part, yeah. Yeah, so we took out, just like, and I start to analyze my red trade so that I don't make the same mistake. It's possibly something, a couple things I could have improved on that. And then over time, when you develop your strategy, you kind of evolve over time to possibly, you know, leave some runners and catch some bigger moves. And there's certain things you could tweak to, you know, squeeze more out of the trade. All right, we're going to the second level. Down 1,300. Yeah, it was a tough one today. It was a hard one. And for me also, that 5-minute range, look how tiny that 5-minute range is. Another reason, like, I gotta stop trying to, like, in trading, you almost gotta look for every reason why you shouldn't take the trade. That's almost what you gotta do. Is you gotta look for every single reason you can find to possibly not take the trade. And if you can't find enough reasons, then you can take the trade. I pretty much gave back what I made yesterday. Did you go long or short? I went long. I went long up here. We swept those pre-market lows, and buyers started to step in pretty aggressively. And I kind of took a long in this range right here. Was thinking that we could look at all these bullish imbalances here, thinking we could start, you know, bouncing off this bullish imbalance, and I was targeting at least to like just the highs up here, and just absolutely just tanked through my stop loss. But it's tough. There was a few red flags that I kind of ignored. Looking back now, I should have not taken that trade because we swept these internal highs right here. That's one reason. So when we sweep these internal highs, we could be going back down to the lows down here. It's exactly what we did. Also, we're tapping into view op. View op was like up here, so we still had room to view op, but the biggest red flag in this trade was sweeping internal highs right here. So it swept internal highs and I had my entry and it just ran through my entry. So next time I'm not going to do that. If we take out internal highs like that, I'm canceling my order. Blew it. You blew your account? No, this is the 1 minute. I'll show you the... Look at the 15-minute chart. Look at the 15. Look at this melt to the downside. And we had... There was one spot, obviously this area right here, where we had like buyers trying to step in, because that's pre-market lows. So you got a lot of buyers trying to step in, where I stepped into. And all of us just got annihilated. Look at that. Just complete back down to the downside and just... And look at the 5 minute, dude. We're just the melt, like a straight shot down. Made 4K on puts today. It's insane. Nice, nice. Yeah, if you cut that short, man, if you had a setup and you just it was a nice short. $100K TPT was at 103, blew it, just lost 3,200. What's your drawdown on that account? Isn't it like 65? Three. What's the drawdown on a 100K account? Yeah, 6K. On a 50 you mean? Yeah, 50K. Yeah, 3,000. That's what my drawdown is. Actually, no, it's not. It's 2,000 on a 50K with Take Profit Trader. It's a $2,000 drawdown. On Apex, it's $2,400 drawdown. Oh, the 100K accounts for Take Profit have an end of day drawdown. So it's still $3,000. Yeah, you gotta size up your risk according, because you don't want to blow your account in like 2 bad trades. Like for me, I'm risking 400 bucks per trade. Even on Take Profit Trader, it takes me 5 losing trades to blow my account for Take Profit Trader in a row. And it takes me 6 losing trades for Apex to blow my account in a row. I don't take 6 losing. I don't think I've ever, with this strategy, I've never taken more than like 2 losses in a row. So you could see, like, I'm not gonna take 6 losses in a row. Just lost 1,300 NASDAQ and gold. This is where, like, these kind of times is where separates good traders from bad traders, right? You see me, I even took a loss. I took a loss today, pretty much gave back what I made yesterday. Gave back all the profits I made yesterday. And so, here's where it separates you. What I used to do when I started to trade, what I used to do is when I took a loss, I would immediately try to revenge trade and get that loss back. You know, I would be trying to long down here. I'd be trying to, like, just try to catch anything to try to make that money back. Now it's like, I sit on my hands. I took a loss. That loss absolutely does not bother me whatsoever. It's like, it's just the normal trade for me. It does hurt that you lost money because it's like you know, you don't want to lose money. Nobody wants to lose money. So it does hurt a little bit, but it doesn't bother me. I know it's like, you know, it's like I can make that back in 1 trade. So it's not like at the end of the world. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I had my stop loss, you know, at these lows. Imagine if I was somebody who canceled my stop loss. I would have blew my accounts. If I would have canceled my stop loss, these accounts would have got blown. All because I couldn't take a loss. But because I took a loss, right, now it's going to take me 1 trade, what? 1 trade to make it back? It's not a big deal. Maybe, who knows? And like tomorrow, right? I don't know what tomorrow brings. I could, for all I know, I could come in tomorrow and we could get a, you know, banger trade. And I can make back that and more. Typically Thursdays and Fridays are usually pretty good for me. Yeah, it took out yesterday's lows. So actually no, did it? Hold on. We haven't taken out that bottom level. Let me see. Hold on. It's a lot easier to see on my other chart. We haven't taken out yesterday's lows yet. We actually got a lot of room. Yesterday's lows are at like 25,282 level. Wait. Yeah, we got some room for yes. Here, it's about to take out yesterday's lows. And see, pay attention to these internal sweeps. These internal sweeps could be like what happened to me today. And look what's happening today. Like somebody, see what it did? It swept the internal level. Now it's going for the lows again. For my trade too, right? I took a long after it already swept this right here, this internal level. So after sweeping that internal level, look at that, back down to the downside. So that should have been a red flag for me after we took out that internal level. That should have been a red flag for me to cancel my order and get in and not take that trade, because that could happen, because we've already taken out a high. Now it could go back for those lows. Pretty much goes back for your stop order. See, we took out this internal level. Now we're going for this low. Now we took out this low. Now we could possibly go back up. It doesn't always happen, but enough times to where it's a red flag if you're trying to take a trade. We still haven't taken out that. Holy crap. It's a double, literally double bottomed. So interesting to see if it's going to double bottom and now rip up to the upside, leaving equal lows. Wow, equal lows. Interesting. Now it makes it even more stronger, like, level, right? Because now you think about it, people are longing. You had these lows. Hold on, let me go to a 15-minute chart. Right, so you had these lows down here. Like, you have this low right here, previous day low, and now we're making another double bottom from previous day low. Now guess what's happening is more people. You already have orders down here, right? Resting orders below this low. Now you have even more orders stacking up below this low. So this becomes even a stronger level. The fact that it's double bottoming, which it could still, right? It could still come back down and take it out before it moves up. So now, right? We've swept this internal level. Now we're moving up to this internal level. See what happens at this internal level. Hasn't taken it out yet. Is it gonna break it and start really going to the upside, or is it just another sweep to go back one more time down to that bottom? Oh no, I'm not trying to jump. I'm not gonna jump back in here. This isn't my setup, so yeah, I'm not even thinking about taking this trade. I'm just observing price action. I'm just seeing what's happening. But for me, yeah, this could go up. This could be a good trade for someone once it breaks these highs. Technically, if it breaks those highs, then it can hold this as support to continue going up, probably at least to this old support level turned into resistance. So it does have room to that kind of, like, you know, 585 level on Nasdaq, but for me, it's not my strategy. So yeah, I'm in, like, at this point, I'm in very, like, defensive mode right now. I'm trying to, I took one loss, so I really don't want to dig myself in. And we could still, like, here's the thing. It is kind of scary that it left equal lows, because at some point, it's going to want to come back down and take out those equal lows. what kind of loss you take. I took a loss up here. So you have, if you look on the 15-minute chart, right, we have pre-market lows down here, and you could see this wick right here on the 15-minute. We had a lot of buyers. This was the only time that a lot of buyers tried to step in, and I was one of those buyers. So we had that range kind of up here. We had that range set in place, right? We're popped back into the range. We had a bullish gap right there. We had another bullish gap inside this range. I took a long off this bullish gap thinking it was gonna hold. And I was just trying to target just up here. I was not trying to target anything crazy. Just, you know, a quick, you know, scalp. And took out these internal lows. That should have been my red flag. I had an order placed inside this gap. Once it took out this internal level, that should have been a red flag for me to cancel my order, because now it could go down for those lows. The fact that it took out this and starts dropping down, now it could go for those lows. So I took a loss. I was in the way. I pretty much got entered inside this gap, and it just went straight to my stop loss. Pretty much gave back. I gave back pretty much everything I made yesterday. So I'm kind of hovering break even on the week on my Apex accounts. My take profit trader accounts, because I couldn't take that trade yesterday because of news, and I had a winning trade. I'm a little bit, you know, I'm one trade in drawdown, so it takes one trade to get out of drawdown. Kind of hovering at break even with those accounts too. It's all right, slow but steady, slow but steady. Trying to, you know, learn from mistakes. Now next time, if I can learn something, my mindset is this too, right? If I take a loss and I learn something from this loss, was it really a loss? Think about it. If in the long term, if you can take something from the loss, like simple, like something this simple, right? That internal level got swept. So next time, don't try to long if that internal level gets swept first. That could potentially save me thousands of dollars in the long run if I implement that kind of into my strategy as a red flag to not take a trade possibly. And if that saves me thousands of dollars down the road, but you pay a small price now to learn that, is it really a loss, or is it actually a win if you could save money down the road? So it really isn't a loss. Hope you're doing well. I'm up 700 today's from these shorts. I'm break even on the week. This week has been a little pretty much break even. On my Apex accounts, break even, and one trade in drawdown pretty much on my take profit trader accounts. So I'm one trade away from being back to. I took a really good trade yesterday and then took a loss today. So man, now we're ripping back up. Wow. No, I'm not in biotech. This is NASDAQ. What technical analysis do you use? Just price action. Strictly price action is my trading. I have indicators on my chart, but these indicators are not meant for me to take trades off of. These indicators are meant for me they're as gauges in the market for me if I'm already in a trade. So hypothetically, if I was in a long, I kind of understand if there's like a pivot point here or something. I understand price could reject off these, like view up, the 200. The only indicators I have is the 200 EMA, the pivot points indicators, and view up. And that's just to gauge if I'm in a trade. I understand price could bounce off those levels or reject off those levels. So a lot of times, sometimes I take profits before if price needs to get through one of those like indicators to get to my TP. I'll typically take, if it's like right there, I'll take profits before it, just in case it rejects off it, so I can just lock in profits. And that's kind of where discretion comes in trading. It's like, even my system, it's very mechanical. It's a very mechanical strategy, but there's a level of discretion that comes into, you know, if you should take the trade or not. That you can't, like, that's the program with that's a problem with bots. Is like, you can't really program the discretion it takes to like for my strategy, I would say it's like 10% discretion. 90% strategy and 10% discretion. So it's like, you do have a little bit of discretion that could save you money down the road. My loss on the day, I'll tell you exactly. Let me see. I'm down. I'm down 2,800 on the day. $2,800 on the day down. Wow, we were really... That's surprising we didn't take out. We didn't take out this previous day low. We just took out the internal low here. And then it just freaking ripped. And you can see kind of what happened, right? It broke through that high. Retested this as support. Right? Broke through the high. Strong. Came back down. Retested it as support. And now it's, you know, ripping back up. So it's rejecting, but I mean, we still got room. I feel like we got room to like this, I would say 575 level. I'll mark it out. So we got, in my opinion, in my eyes, we got room to like this level right here to kind of rip up to. So it could just be pulling back just to retest this one more time. But I would say the biggest this is where you really got to start watching for potential reversal area, is because we got this, you know, old support level now turned into resistance level. We have kind of an imbalance there too. It's already been filled, that imbalance, but we at 10. We're at 10:30. When was this reversal? Was it 10 a.m.? 10:10. 10:15. Kind of the 10 a.m. reversal area. I just longed. Hopefully you didn't long at the top. Hopefully you waited for a pullback to long. Because you want to wait for a pullback to give you the best risk to reward ratio. Because you would think, like, it depends on where you would want to put your stops. I mean, if, technically speaking, right, this long setup is invalidated if it breaks down below the lows. But you do have equal lows down there too, so. It depends on where your stop is. Some people probably have their stops below this internal low here. Some people have their stops below that all-time low down there. $25,886. $25,886. Dang, you got, wait, 25, what? 886? Are you trolling? You gotta be trolling. There's no way your TP is all the way up there. I mean, I see. Okay, I see why, but that's a. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tough for price to get up there. It's a pretty far level. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're someone who it does these kind of trades, right? You have a stop below the lows. That risk to reward, technically, that risk to reward is really good. You know, it's a really good risk to reward. I don't like taking that kind of trade because then I have to sit there for like hours just watching price action. I'm the type of person I like to get in and take a scalp and get out. Like take my profits and get out and move on with my day. Alright, to each his own. Stop loss 25, 350. Okay, yeah, you're a longer term trader. You're somebody who takes a lot, you know, bigger setups. You know your strategy. I mean, if it's your strategy setting itself up and makes sense to you, then why not? I mean, you know the risk you're taking. Yeah, it's gonna take a while for price to get to there, if it does get there. Luckily smacked gold and NQ shorts right after market open. Yeah, the market just like tanked. Trying to hold this as support, this level down here. You gotta kind of hold it as support if it's gonna want to go up. Or trying to. We are coming up to that 10:30 time too, so it's at 11 o'clock, 10:30. Price is probably going to start to try to slow down a little bit. Oh, man. We could go for those lows one more time. Take out those equal lows down there. Starting to look like it wants to do that. It's almost like it just wanted to trap some people in up here to kind of take out their stops at the bottom. Dun, dun, dun. What's the percentage drop since open? I think it's down. Let's see. 1.1% down on the day. So NASDAQ is down about 1% on the day. 2,300. I'm not sure what it is. It's yeah, I mean, it's, calculate that. It's a lot. Pretty much since, let's see. Well, since, let's call it from the highs. We're down 20. So about 400, we're 400 points from the top. It's about 400 points from the highs at the today pre-market highs. Still going. Looks like we want that low. Told you, double bottom. See now, like if you just took a loss, now look back and like see what you did wrong. There's a double bottom. I said before that double bottom tends to be a stronger draw now, right? It's a stronger draw because more people are stacking up on top. More people are trying to enter into this trade. So you got more orders, so now it becomes like a stronger level for price to go toward. So now we just took out this low. Watch price just rip back up to the upside after taking out this low. But we're like this price today has been insanely bearish. Oh, not on the charts today. I'm on the move. Just trying to make some numbers. Yeah. God, this thing is still dropping. Wow. Will it start to pop back up? We took out all the lows down. Let's look at an hourly chart again. Hourly chart. We do have this. This is gonna be what? That's gonna be. That's technically. The fourth was when? 2 days ago, right? So Tuesday. So that's like Tuesday's low down there. So this area right here is Tuesday's low. We want to go for Tuesday's low. Actually, let me mark it out. Can you explain how to know where to set support and resistance? Yeah, so in terms of support and resistance, Highs are always going to be resistance, obviously. Like you see even on an hourly chart, right? It comes up to a high. This previous high. Now it comes back up to that high. It becomes resistance again. And then you also have old support levels that break tend to turn into new resistance levels. So you have kind of this area here would be a resistance level. We have this area. I'm trying to show a better picture of what, like, you can kind of see price, right? This is a resistance level. Price kind of pops up, taps this resistance, drops, pops up. And then, like, technically this, you see even how price tried to hold here, right? So this old resistance level, it broke it and it tried to hold it as support. So you can see right with this candle, it broke through it, it pulled back, this red candle pulled back, held it as support, and then ripped back up to the upside. So highs are resistance, lows are support. This was a support level. Obviously, price came back down. Right? It's on a 1 minute chart, so it's not a strong support level, but it is. Took out the lows and then ripped back up to the upside. But the biggest thing I would say to understand is old support turns into new resistance. So like now that price broke through this level right here, this technically, right, if it pops back up, this can hold as new resistance level. And just watch price every day. Watch what price does, and you'll begin to realize and you'll begin to see what price does. Like, oh, wow, it came back up. I understand why it bounced there. I understand why it rejected there. Makes sense. The biggest kind of experience you can gain is watching price action. And even if you go on a chart, like if you go based on previous history on a chart and do like back testing and stuff, you'll see similar, like you'll begin to see patterns. Like price does things, certain things price does over and over and over again. And then, right, you see it on a chart, then you go in real time, and when you're doing forward testing, you're like, oh wow, okay, I remember seeing this before. So it could reject off of here. It could, bounce off of here. Or it can have some form of selling or buying pressure at these levels. Best swing of the week? Yeah, possibly. I mean, we had Tuesday's low was pretty freaking crazy low, because that was the bounce. Tuesday's low, look at that, all the way back up. Interesting to see what happens here. Still got some room, but today's just a day where, and now see, look, price is coming back up. Watch, pay attention to what happens at this blue line right here. If it does come back up there. So like we broke this previous support level. We broke down. Now, if price comes back up, this area could hold as resistance to continue going down. We got these lows and we got this imbalance right there. So there's a lot of resistance in this area. Not saying price is going to reject 100%, but it probably will have some selling pressure come in there, at least some. And it also helps noticing these kind of things. Helps if you are in a trade. Like if I'm in a trade and I understand that price could reject there, I don't get scared at the first sight of rejection, right? I don't get scared at the first sight that that price reject, because I understand it can. Is my freaking why is my chart? Da, 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 da. Yeah, it looks like we're coming up to, like 15 more minutes. See what happens here, and appreciate the follow. Thank you for the likes and follows. I appreciate it. Yeah, my loss for sure. I learned something today from my loss. So I'm happy about the loss. I learned something, so it's just now biggest thing is the internal highs. I mean internal level. Don't try to long if it's after sweeps an internal level. So yeah, I shouldn't have took that trade. I shouldn't have took it. I'm human too. It's sometimes you get like, especially with strategies where you have to wait. Like there are days where I have to wait a couple days for a setup, and then you finally get a setup and you're like, it's not the best one, but sometimes you're like, I haven't got a setup in a while. Let me just take this one just in case. It takes a lot of patience and discipline. Oh, my bad. Dang, my freaking... So, it's... And longing into view op, you got to be extra careful if you have a long setup into view op. That's another thing. So, you live and you learn. It's fine. It's like, it's nothing that you can't make back. That's the thing. As long as you keep your losses tighter. Still going lower. We still have that low. I'm interested to see what happens here. What happens after that low? I mean, that's the low on a, let me see, on a bigger. Yeah, that's a massive swing low. I mean, after that low down there, we don't have a low all the way till it's a massive level. This blue line here is a pretty big low. That's a low on a 4-hour chart. We give it 10 more minutes. I'm gonna hop off in about 10 minutes. Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Hopefully, I mean, I hope I can get a good trade for Friday. It'll put me up on the week. Here, give me a second, I'll be back. On a daily chart too. That's why I was not sure it wasn't gonna go down. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is like that long area. If it was going to bounce, that's the area it would have bounced. And you see that like, that was the highest. I mean, we did try to bounce off that area, so it's not a bad level. Like it's not like you bought. It's not like I bought somewhere right here where it just like tanked through it. You did have buyers try to step in. It just could not hold it up. So not a bad level. It's just, there are other days where, we sweep pre-market lows and we start ripping to the upside pretty much, for the rest of the day. That happens. Today was not one of those days. Yeah, market's always, yeah, that's true. Market's right. Regardless of what you think is going to happen, this is why, price action is king. You trade based on what the market kind of gives you. It's like people say, oh, the market's hunting, they're hunting my stop orders. They don't care about your stop orders. If you get stopped out, the market was going there regardless. It's just you happen to be in the way. Trust me, they don't care about retail stop orders. They don't. Longs after Asia sweep. Yeah, I took a long there today. I took a pre-market level long. So I took a long up here. Swept pre-market lows, but like I said, there were a couple of red flags. We're tapping into view op. When we're pushing into a view op, that's kind of a red flag that we could reject off of there. We're below view op, we're bearish already, so we're kind of longing into a view op area, which is a red flag in and of itself. If view op is close to say like pre-market lows. If VWAP is pretty close to pre-market lows up here, then you gotta just be careful. Yeah, I mean, that was a level too where there were a couple, for me, there, like looking back, there were a couple red flags why I shouldn't have taken the trade. So I learned from them for next time, but it was a level that, it made sense. If price was going to bounce, it was going to bounce there. Just today wasn't one of those days. But like I didn't take it just because it swept pre-market. That was not the reason why I took the trade. It's gonna keep dropping. I don't know. This thing is... I'm surprised how far it's dropped. Today's one of those days where you do have those days in the market where price just goes lower and lower. Usually, most of the time, these kind of days, I just don't get a setup. Today was like a pretty rare day where I actually got a setup. And it was one of those days where it just melted to the downside. Normally, I don't get a setup and I just stay out of this price action. But wasn't the case today. It was a heavy drop. Yeah, it was surprised how hard we pulled back. These are the kind of markets that can break someone. If someone's very like can't accept the loss and keeps trying to long, and can't accept losses, then and can't accept like days where, you know, there are going to be days regardless of what strategy you have. There are days where your strategy just is not going to work. I don't care what strategy is. Everyone has a strategy where there are days where it just doesn't work. Those type of days, you have to play defense. Like, if you take a loss, you got to step away and realize that your strategy may not work today. So, got to walk away. $25,682. Let's see. 25,682. 82? So you you pretty much got in as soon as market opened. So it's risky. That's scary, bro. Getting in at market open on a trade is pretty scary because we could get a lot of times, you know, it's like a miss. It's like a hit or miss. Either price goes immediately to your TP or it's like it goes really against you. A lot of people have a rule. I know a lot of traders have a rule where they don't trade the first 15 minutes of market open. I don't personally have that rule, but a lot of traders do that because they don't want to get chopped up. Usually it's very, you know, choppy in the morning. We get sweeps up, sweeps to the downside, and if I get a setup, I don't care if it's 9:30. If I get a setup at, well, I can't get a setup at 9:30. It's impossible for me because I wait for the 5-minute range. So if I get a setup at 9:35, no, not 9:35, 9:40, I'll take it. Yeah, I risked it, man. You can't be afraid of losing money. It comes and goes. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. You can't. You're playing statistics, right? You're playing probabilities. If you have a strategy, you're just playing the probabilities of the strategy. You can't, you know, be afraid of taking losses. I mean, it's a business. This is like losses in trading are the same thing as like you have a business and you pay rent. Right? You pay rent for the business. When you're trading, you don't pay rent. You don't do any of that. So when you take losses, it's the price of doing business. It's just mathematically you're going to take losses. That doesn't make sense. You can't. It's impossible not to take losses. But the key to it is understanding that. And when you get in a trade, you're risking the amount where you're already okay with losing. So if I go in and I risk $400, in my mind, I'm okay with losing $400 because I'm risking it. Because you got to understand, no matter how good the setup is, I don't care if it's an A+ setup, that setup can still turn out to be a losing trade. Bro, I've had A setups turning to be losing trades and C setups that turn into be winning trades. Like, how do I know? I just don't know. So I just have to, you know, play accordingly. Just play out the probabilities long term. Made 900. Made 900 of 100. I'm from what is it? Namibia? Where is that? We can't control the market. Yeah. You can't control it. People try to force their ideas on the market, and like people have a bias. Oh, long bias, and they try to long every time, even though price action is showing them the price wants to go down. They're so focused on longs that it's just like, bruh. All right, I gotta. Let me see. Give me a second. Yeah, we still haven't taken out that bottom. Oh, Africa. Dang. Nice. That's pretty cool. What's his name's from South Africa? Elon Musk is from South Africa. But yeah, like talking about controlling, right? You can't control the market. So a lot of mistake traders do is they get up in the morning, they analyze market conditions, right? And then they have a bias. And then they stick to the bias, even though price action is telling them different. My bias can change within like, it could change very quickly because I'm looking at price action. Something could look long 1 minute, and then 10 minutes later, everything is screaming short. So, my bias does change. I've had times where I'm like, all right, market open, 5-minute range. All right, this is nice. I'm looking for shorts. We're above, looking for shorts. And it ends up giving me a long setup. Do you think it will retrace now? You mean push up? I mean, we're already pretty much in a retrace. We haven't taken out this low yet, though. We haven't taken out that low. Just kind of... I mean, it's 11 o'clock, so we're at that time. Price is gonna grind. Price is moving very slow now. You're not getting... I think it takes out this low. I mean, we're so close to this massive level. It's such a big level. You're getting bounces before it. But, I mean, I think we take out this level. It may chop sideways before taking it out, but... Appreciate the follow. But now we're like 11 o'clock, 10, price typically goes slower, you know. I typically don't like trading after 11. So. Did you write it down today? No, sadly no. I got a long setup. I had a long setup and had a couple red flags. Ignored the red flags and took a long and kind of got stopped out. Pretty much gave back what I made yesterday on my Apex accounts. And down a little bit on my take profit because I couldn't take a trade yesterday because of news on my take profit. So pretty much break even on the Apex accounts and a little down on the take profit. It's nothing I can't make back in one trade though. Gosh, give me a second, hold on. golly, we're still. All right, who's taking longs? Be careful, because I mean, it could still come down and take out this low. I think longs would be a better setup if we would have taken out this low already. The fact that we haven't taken out that low kind of is a red flag. It's not like saying that it has to come down there, but it could be a red flag for price to potentially pop back up. There's resistance up where this line is, right? We got previous support turned to new resistance. We got a bearish imbalance right there, so it could pop up and then take out the low and then go up, like so. Just makes it a little lower probability. I think we still could go for that low, but yeah, I'm gonna hop off. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna hop off. I gotta go. I'm supposed to meet up with somebody, so I'll be back tomorrow for Friday. Hopefully we catch a good trade tomorrow. But stay safe. Don't take any stupid trades. You know, it's probably a good time to walk away for the day. Other than that, see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.